Welcome to a beginner's guide for the Bathurst 12-hour race. I'm Brian the Chinchilla. This is one of my favorite endurance races on one of my favorite tracks of all time, Mount Panorama. This track was built on Mount Panorama, and is characterized by the fast speeds drivers will carry through the narrow course. The main straight leads to the first left-hander of Hell Corner, which leads them onto the mountain straight. The right-hander of Griffin's Bend narrows into the cutting and into Quarry Corner, where drivers will most likely have to stay single file in order to get through. The right-handers of Turn 7 and Turn 10 lead to Skyline Turn, downhill into the S's, and over the Dipper. Where another quick left-right complex leads into Forest Elbow. And from there, the drivers will take to Conrod Straight, where drivers will reach speeds of well over 180 miles an hour. From there, the drivers are funneled down into the Chase, where another short straightaway leads them to Murray's Corner, and finally back onto the main straight. Because this track is so fast and so narrow, it can be easy for drivers to clip the inside of a turn and shoot them onto the outside wall, which has happened many times in the past. The fast speeds on this narrow track also lead to a lot of collisions with other drivers, as the narrowing of the track leads them to funnel down into one racing line. In this race, the cars are divided into three different classes: the GT3 class, or Class A, the GT4 class, or Class C, and the Invitational class, or Class I. Each of these classes is defined by the power behind each car. For example, in the GT3 class, some of the cars competing include Audi, Porsche, Ferrari, Nissan, Lamborghini, and many others. Within the GT3 class, each set of drivers are divided into subcategories. Because this is an endurance race, each team needs at least 2 drivers in a car. These drivers may or may not have certain qualifications as far as their racing license. So for example, in the Pro class, all the drivers are professional racers. In the Pro-Am class, there's a maximum of 2 professional drivers in each car. Whereas in the Silver class, there are no professional racers permitted. This year, there's about 34 GT3 cars competing, which is a record number for the Bathurst 12-hour. Within this race, there are plenty of drivers and teams to watch out for. For example, the number 1 Porsche GT3 with Earl Bamber Motorsport has a very pro list of drivers, including Earl Bamber, Lawrence Vanthor, and Craig Lowndes. Some of the other Class A pro teams can include the Audi Sport Team Valvoline with Dries Vanthor, Christopher Haas, and Frederik Vervisch, and even the Honda Racing Team with Dane Cameron, Ringer van de Zandt, and Mario Farnbacher. Some of these cars will be up in front, so it's best to keep an eye on them. The race starts in the night. However, that doesn't last for long, because about an hour into the race, the sun's going to come up. There are some different rules as far as pit stops and the race itself goes when competing in the Bathurst 12-hour. For example, under the safety car, especially during the final formation lap before they get back to green, cars cannot weave around warming up their tires. If they are seen doing this, they risk getting a penalty, which is exactly what happened to Alex Imperatori last year.
Yeah, and what about Alex Imperatori in the Nissan, who's still waving?
Oh, that's an absolute nightmare for the number 18 car. Imperatori's going to take himself out of it.
While there were supposed to be new pit rules, they have since taken those away due to some feedback from fans and teams. At the time of recording this, I do not know whether or not those rules will be implemented or whether they'll stay away. Most of us should be able to watch the race and qualification sessions on YouTube. The link to the channel and the live streams will be down below. For example, if you're on the West Coast like me, January 31st at 12:15 p.m. will be the qualifying sessions. And then at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the top 10 shootout will occur, in which the top 10 fastest cars will qualify for their spots on the grid. The actual race will take place on February 1st at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Once again, the links to these live streams and videos that were used in this video will be in the description down below. Thank you for watching.